Hey, greetings everyone. Pastor Thom here with a very special video announcement. As many of you have heard already, the Church Council voted to return to worship service within the sanctuary here at Central. With that comes some changes and some ways that we're going to do things differently than what we had to provide as much safety and security for people who do attend worship. And I want to share some of that with you via video. You can also find the printed copies of this on our website as well as through a constant contact email that you should have already received. We'll also be sending out a hard copy mailed to you early next week, so look to that. But I'm going to go through all those things with you very briefly, so you know what's going on, so you can prepare and know what we're doing to take in consideration your safety and provide meaningful and significant worship here at Central. Before I jump into the details, I do want to read the cover letter that will come with the details, and I'm just going to basically just read it to you. It says, Central Church family, greetings in the name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It is with great excitement and hope that we share with you that the Church Council met on July 1st and voted unanimously to reopen the church for in-person worship services. This will go into effect starting Sunday, July 19th. Sunday, July 19th. There is no Saturday services. Sunday, July 19th. There was a substantial dialogue and consideration given to this decision, and it wasn't taken lightly. The various pros and cons, as well as the varying opinions on this subject, were given great attention. We sincerely believe this is the best decision for Central Church, and generally hope everyone can find this encouraging. With all of the varying options to worship at Central, we hope you'll find the one that is right for you. Attached to this letter is the reopening plan, which explains what we'll be doing and how things will look. Please extend your grace and patience, as there's likely going to be some needed tweaks and modifications to this plan as we go along. Keep in mind that none of us knows exactly how long this plan or portions of this plan will remain in effect. As you read through the attached, please understand that, again, there is no perfect plan. Be reassured that there will come a day when we return to some semblance of worship like we have known in the past. I'm joyfully waiting for July 19th. My name and our Church Council Chair Jody Cooper's name are both on this letter. So let me jump into some of the details. So the first thing I'll share with you is the services themselves. We're going to start out with the traditional service being at 8:30 like it has in the past. The blended service we will have at 10:30. The number of services may expand depending on our attendance and how many people we can get in. We're going to have overflow down into the fellowship hall and the sanctuary while maintaining social distancing. So it may get to the point where we have to have a later Sunday afternoon service, or perhaps a Wednesday evening worship service, depending again on how things play out. If you're considered high risk, if you're uncomfortable with in-person worship services in the church, or if you have a fever or you're not feeling well, there's another number of options available for you, and I'm going to share those options available for you. You can listen in your car like we've been doing over at the high school. Here in the church parking lot, there's going to be reserved parking across the street by the in front of the church in that first row there on the street side there. We're going to have a place reserved. We'll have signs up there for you, so look for the signs reserved. If you want to just sit in the parking lot and listen on the radio, it'll still be FM 88.1. You can listen on the radio on KSMD like we've done in the past. You can continue to watch on television or start watching on television. We're going to be doing live streaming, so you'll be able to live stream it from any location. Really, you could be at home, you could be on the road. Well, actually, if you're driving, don't be watching worship. If you're the passenger, go right ahead. But you can watch really anywhere live stream, or you can watch the recorded versions on Facebook, on YouTube. You can go to our website, find that as well. All of those options are available to you. Should you not feel comfortable being in worship in the church building, if you're not feeling well, or if you consider yourself high risk. So those are some options you have. Seating, again, both the sanctuary and the fellowship hall will be available. We do ask that you maintain the social distancing guidelines of 6 feet for your safety and the safety of others. So as you come in, if you come up to the sanctuary, please keep that in mind, that the expectation is that everyone will maintain that 6 feet. In the fellowship hall, it's going to be a little unique. Right now we have chairs set up 6 feet apart. If you come in and you're a couple, or there's 3 of you, or a family of 5 or 6, by all means pull some chairs together so you guys can sit closer together should you choose to do that. There will also be extra chairs lined up along the wall in the fellowship hall as well. So entering and exiting, we encourage everyone to maintain social distancing. Obviously, I must say that multiple times while entering and exiting the building. If you're going to be in the sanctuary, we encourage those who are on the south side, that would be the parking lot side of the sanctuary, to exit through. There's a little door up by the piano to go through that door, and if you hang a left, there's a door to go outside. We encourage you to take that door to exit, and we encourage those who are on the north side to exit through. You can either take that back sanctuary door, there's a little door on the side there, and exit through that north side of the parking lot, or you can actually exit through the main entrance if you choose. So you have all those options if you're on that north side of the sanctuary. If you're in the fellowship hall, we encourage you to exit through the fellowship hall doors. We are only going to have 2 entry points, though. That will be the north side and the main doors. Children's message. There will be a children's message, but we're not going to invite the children to come forward. We will just share the message from up in front of the sanctuary there. Singing. Originally, we were going to encourage everyone to avoid singing because there is some question of whether that singing extends the distance of passing the COVID-19 virus. We are planning on having some special music and doing some other things, not exactly how that's going to play out, but that's coming to question right now. So there'll be more coming on that particular piece, whether it be singing or not singing. I'm waiting to get some email responses back on some of that right now. So sanitizing. The church is going to be sanitized prior to when you come in. It's going to be sanitized in between, and it's even going to be sanitized afterwards. Once again, so that even throughout the week it'll be sanitized here if you should stop by. We're going to have hand sanitizer conveniently located throughout the church, including at the entry and exit areas. There will be hand sanitizer. One of the concerns is touch. We tend to, as human beings, touch a lot of things, and a lot of it's unconscious. And so one of the things we're going to do is we're going to remove everything out of the pews. There won't be any Bibles. There's not going to be hymnals. Any of those things in their Connect cards are going to be out because there's a lot of touching goes on with those things, and transmission can occur through that. We will keep the doors propped open to the entry points as you enter, as long as the weather permits that, as we enter and when we exit. Masks. After a significant amount of conversation and dialogue over masks, it was determined that mask will be optional, but we strongly encourage you to wear a mask. If you don't have your own mask, we will have masks provided for you, or available rather for you, at the entry points. So there's going to be tables. I'm jumping ahead. We'll talk about that in just a moment. And we're going to continue to have bulletins, offering. We're going to have offering, but it just won't be a typical offering. We'll just have offering plates by the 2 exits, that front part of the sanctuary and the back part of the sanctuary. So as you go to depart, you can leave your offering there. Communion Sundays, we're going to have those individual communion packets available. Those will also be located at the entry points as well. Activity bags, Children's Ministry is going to provide individual one-time use children's bags each week for the children. Ushers, in order to maintain social distancing in an effort to keep the ushers safe and healthy, we will not be having ushers. As far as all those worship items, the mass, the bulletins, activity bags, communion, like I said, those are all going to be located on a table as you enter one of the 2 entry points. The nursery will be available for limited use. We're going to be taking all the toys out of the nursery, so it's not going to be a place to gather for kids to play, and it's going to be unstaffed. But if you need some quiet time with your child or something, it will be open and available. And that will also, just like the rest of the church, will be sanitized before, in the middle of the 2 services and following. We will not be providing coffee in the fellowship hall or outside the sanctuary. The water faucet will not be used. It's in the hallway headed into the fellowship hall. And restrooms, we encourage 1 person in a bathroom at a time. There will be signs on the doors indicating that as well. And attendance, we're going to be working on, Jenny's working on this right now, trying to find some kind of electronic means for doing attendance, since we won't have our Connect cards, just so we can have the recognition of you being in church on Sunday. And the last thing I just want to share with you is that we do want to do the best we can as a church to maintain our social distancing, to not come to church if we're not feeling well, if we have to cough, that we cough into our elbows, that we have tissues on hand in case our nose is runny, and we're washing our hands for 20 seconds or longer. All of those standard CDC guidelines, we hope that all of you will maintain while you're here in the church. If nothing else, just to keep those around you safe and healthy as well. So if you have any questions about any of this, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a text, email, whatever it might be. I am very excited to be in the church, and at the same time, we do want to exercise caution, and I do hope and pray that things will go well moving into the future as far as worship goes. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.